To be completely honest, I have no idea how to start this video. I don't really know. I've had the thought recently over like the last week or so to just create some sort of online diary, in a sense, just to prove that I existed. It's weird. I want this to be something I can say I did. Like, I've been really worried recently with college, thinking about how this might not be the right thing for me, or that it's just gonna completely flop and I'm gonna get nowhere in life. It's pretty fucking scary. I'm terrified of being a nobody. And for some reason I feel like this is how to prevent that. But at the same time, it feels unrealistic because there's a part of me that wants this to become something. But I don't think I'm going to get any sort of satisfaction over this. Because, like, I want people to hear my story. And I don't know if that's selfish, but I like being relatable. I really have no idea where I'm going with this. This may sound nerdy, but I spent like at least 3 days just thinking to myself about what I wanted to talk about. And now that I'm actually doing this, I'm like, I have no fucking clue what I want to say. I hated that. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I guess really what it is that I want somebody to be proud of me. And I'm not trying to say that in like a really sad, nobody cares about me or anything like that. Like, I have a lot of people that care about me, but I'm terrified of disappointing them. And that's always been a major fear of mine, is being the person that people know, but not being a person that they care about. Which is a weird thing to say, because like I said, I have people that care about me, but it's not the same. In that situation, it feels like almost required, and not like they want to care about me, if that makes sense. I feel like this is my like ticket almost to get my voice out there and have somebody think of me like they want to instead of need to. And so that's kind of what this possible series is going to turn into. This was originally just an idea of, like I said, wanting to get my voice out there and get people to know who I am. But originally this was just going to be something that I treat as a diary where I talk about my thoughts and whatever. But now I'm kind of like, I want something more out of it because it could be fun. No idea what this is. I love how I say that I want to just talk through this, and then I get to the point where there's just silence because I don't know what to say. I guess I'll just start with the world. I am currently running Distant Horizons, favorite mod of all time, without a doubt. It's so absolutely beautiful. I'm also running Create mod, so this is just gonna kind of become a world that I just make farms on or build on. Just, it's not gonna be for hardcore because I despise hardcore. I don't like putting so much time and effort into something and then just having the possibility of it all being gone. It just sounds aggravating and I'm not going to deal with it. So I'm just playing on hard. I don't have cheats enabled. I do have keep inventory on though because I don't care again. I also have a couple mods installed that add a few new bosses that are just randomly generated throughout the world. And then, the biomes will go, I believe is what it's called. I don't fully remember. I also have a mod installed that I can create my own little settlement on. I just need to craft a specific thing to place an auto fab boat. No idea if it's installed correctly though, so if it doesn't poo-poo, I'll just end up making a base at some point and I'll deal with just villagers. What is that? Oh my god, it's a fucking turtle. That's awesome. I'm also using Alex's mobs just to add a bit more liveliness to the world. I like very atmospheric mods, especially shaders. It just all feels really nice and clean. This is the crafting recipe? It is. Okay. Oh my god, this is a lot more than I thought it was gonna be. Do I have to... Do I have to manually collect all of these? I hope not. Let's go with this one. Oh, I can move. Okay. I was gonna say, this might be kind of screwy. I kind of like that. What are the other ones, though? I forgot which one I had picked. Was it the treehouse one? I think it was. I also like building treehouses. Pretty much every world I've ever done has been a treehouse or some sort of watchtower, especially with Distant Horizons and a good shader pack, because you can just see so much beautiful land. And that feels kind of weird to say about Minecraft, but it's just what it is. Everything feels so cozy. This is kind of sick. Yo, this is pretty cool. looks really awesome. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever actually beaten Minecraft before. I don't know if that's something that's considered taboo. I've never beaten Minecraft. I've always just kind of created a world for a week and then quit on it. Not because I wanted to give up on it, but because it just got boring and I didn't really have anything to work towards. And so I think that's gonna be my first goal, is just doing things at my own pace, but at least beating the dragon at some point, because I want to do it. And I think it'll be fun to document it for the first time. Oh, that looks cool. Another thing, I don't know how to edit anything in video whenever I post it. I've never made a TikTok. I've never posted shit on Instagram. This is a big first for me for a lot of reasons, honestly. Oh, wow. Oh, this is beautiful. I might be setting up a small little base here. That tree wasn't there a second ago. Or minecart with Chaz? Oh. Did you just despawn? Oh, it's below me. Hang on. Hang on a second. Is that a... I don't know what that is. Yeah, I think there's a mine shaft below me. Huh. Okay. That's kind of cool. But back to the first video thing. There is most likely gonna be very little editing for this, because I've got no clue what I'm doing. This is just me having fun. I'm just wanting to do something, and I hope it turns out good, and that find some people who enjoy listening to me talk, or if they want to, I don't really know. And this is back to the very start of this. I've kind of always wanted to be some sort of streamer or YouTuber. And like, haha, funny, ha ha ha, everybody wanted to be that as a kid, but I've always enjoyed playing games. And it's always been my sort of escape for things. And it's just been the easiest way for me to calm down if anything's going wrong in life. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening right now for me. I'm not motivated to do anything, and I'm just kind of here. But I don't want to do nothing in my life. I want to be something to somebody else. And like it's kind of funny because I have an amazing girlfriend. Like, love that woman to fucking death. But it's not the same. And I'm not trying to downplay how amazing she is for me. But it's not the same. Because this, again, goes back to, I have people that care about me, but I don't have that many people that choose to care about me. At least I feel like that's what it is. And I'm not alone in the slightest. Like, I have a great support system with all of my friends and her and my parents. But it all feels forced. I don't really know how to get around that in my head. So maybe this will also just be something that helps me discover that and makes me a better person out of the deal. Who knows? And I keep thinking about most likely nobody seeing this and me just speaking into the endless ocean of YouTube where everything gets lost if you don't have any sort of traction. But at the same time, I'm not angry with that. And like this is why this is so confusing for me. Like, I want to do this. I've always wanted to do this. But I have a massive doubt that nothing is going to happen out of this deal. Or, well, no. I mean, that's just what it is. I'm terrified that nothing's going to come out of this. I don't want to feel like I'm just wasting my time. The last thing I barely have time as is to do homework. And like I've done a majority of it for this week. I've done a good bit. So I'm not that worried about it this week, and that's kind of why I decided to start this. But we're coming up on the time where last year, or not last year, it was 2 years ago. And we're already getting into the lore bit about me. Damn, I was expecting like at least episode 2. uh, but I dated this girl 2 years ago, and it was a weird situation. It was very weird. Like I at the time, and I know my girlfriend's gonna see this, so I'm trying to not say something that will upset her. And I'm not trying to like talk down about it or about her or anything, because I love her a lot and I don't like upsetting her. At the time of me dating this girl 2 years ago, I thought she was amazing. And that was due to the fact that she manipulated me into dating her. And that's such a weird thing to say, because I've told it to so many people and they're like, oh yeah, no, I kind of understand what you're talking about. But I always feel like no one actually understands what I mean when I say that. So what happened was, I had a friend who dated her originally in high school. We were both in the same grade. This girl was a year younger than us. And this girl and him and my old friend dated for a few months. I don't remember how long exactly, because this was so long ago. I'm trying to think about like how to say this, or what to say actually. But they worked together and they started dating, and they they were an okay match for each other. Not the greatest, but I mean, like, it was a high school relationship. Like, you don't really expect much out of it. And they had a really bad falling out. And this was so long ago, I don't really remember what it all was really about. I just know it wasn't good. That's all I really remember. Um, like it was awful, and it fucked him up, and I felt really bad. Like it was rough for him. Like I didn't hear from him for 3 weeks. Couldn't get a hold of him through text. I barely saw him at school, and whenever I did see him, it was always shorthanded conversations, and there wasn't any depth. And then it all eventually went away, and then we graduated, and it, I'm struggling to remember all of this because this was so long ago. It was so long ago, and I don't fully remember it. Um, but I ended up seeing the girl again after they had broken up and me and this guy had graduated, and ended up picking her up in my car, and we hung out for a night just because when I did see her, I was dropping off some Taylor Swift concert bracelets because I had just gone to one of her concerts. And she messaged me wanting to have some, and I was like, sure, I've got too many to care about. And at this point, I didn't really care about her that much. She wasn't like important to me at all, and so I just didn't really care. I was like, sure. The guy she dated, I don't talk to him anymore just because we graduated and we kind of drifted apart anyways. Um, and so it didn't really matter. I was just getting shit out of my hands. And talking about this all again is making me like realize how weird the whole situation was. And so I dropped off bracelets to her, and while I was there, she ended up quitting her job. And what the fuck? What the hell? This is so weird. Yeah, let's just go with that. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. What the? That is a lot bigger than I thought it was. Where the hell is my colony then? I totally took a pause from what I was talking about. How do I know it's inside my colony? I have no idea what I'm doing. I will figure this one out on my own time. But back to my story. This girl, I was talking to her late at night to just talk with her. She just quit her job. And I just wanted to talk to somebody because I hadn't interacted with anybody in a long time. And again, I didn't really have any attachment to her, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. And so we ended up hanging out for a few hours and just talked to each other. And she ends up telling me that she used to like me, and I was like, "What? Oh, okay." I mean, I kind of used to like you too at one point, like a while ago, but not really anymore. And so then we kind of just talk about that for a bit. And then she ends up telling me that the guy she dated that used to be my best friend wanted me to kill myself. And I was like, what? What? Hang on, what? And like I was flabbergasted because it's so unlike him to say something about me or really anybody else. And so I immediately call him and I'm like, "Yo, is this shit true?" And at first he lied and said, "No, it's not true." And then I said, "Well, this girl that you said that to is literally in my car right now and told me that you said that at one point." And then he admitted to it. And I was like, "Dude, that's messed up." Like, I have no idea what to even say there. And so then me and him stopped talking for a while, and me and this girl end up dating. And like it for me it felt okay because I thought there was a genuine connection and all of that. And there in reality wasn't. She was the biggest hoe ever. And like I don't say that about that many people because like you shouldn't. But she was. Just plain and simple, she was. She had dated so many men, and I didn't find any of this out until well after we had broken up. Or I say we broke up, she cheated on me. And I mean that's essentially the story. I was gonna put more filler in there just to, talk. But at the same time, I'm like, this has gone on for way too long, and I barely remember why I originally started talking about this in the first place. In fact, I don't at all, honestly. I don't remember. Yeah, no, I don't. I lost my train of thought way too long ago, and so I don't remember any of it. Like, dude, I'm not even playing Minecraft at this point. I'm just talking. But at the same time, I love it because I feel the need to talk. Why am I crafting another fucking crafting table? Dude, am I dumb? I have one over here too. What am I doing? Dude, I'm on day 3 and I haven't done anything. Another reason, and this is a completely new tangent, because again, I have the attention span of like an animal that does not have a good attention span. I don't like using goldfish, or actually, dude, I'm getting anxious about doing this, and I don't know why. Like, again, I highly doubt there is going to be anybody that actually watches this shit. What the fuck are you? Yeah, I don't really have a reason to be anxious right now because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. But I want it to matter, so I'm getting anxious about it. That actually scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that coal's coming back. I never realized the reverse and the boats are so bad. I don't really know where to go from here. Like, I want to be entertaining, but I don't know how. I really don't know how to be entertaining. Like I'm trying to just talk my way through it, but I really, truly don't know what the fuck I'm doing. What can this make me? Dude, I added so many mods. Like, I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. And I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of defeating. But I don't want it to be. Because I know I'm gonna keep doing this. I know I'm going to eventually beat the game here, but and this is another weird thing. I have no idea how to. What the, like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I thought this was gonna be an easy medium to talk through, but this really isn't. Like, I thought it was gonna be the easiest thing ever to just talk while I do something, but I've never been good at that. Can I teleport? Okay. I was gonna say, I don't remember that being an option. I also don't want this video to be me just talking bad about myself. But sadly, that's the only thing I know how to do. And that's probably a very weird and confusing thing to hear, but it is. Because I don't know how to talk good about myself. And like I said, I don't know how that makes sense or why that's how it is. But and this is gonna be weird for me to say again, but I'm the friend that listens to people and not the friend that gets heard. And I don't really know how to explain that. Oh shit, Paul. I'm not the lucky one that gets to talk about myself. I'm the one that gives all the advice. Which again is such a weird thing to say, but I feel like a lot of people know what I'm talking about because they've described themselves as that same thing. But every person is different with that same like experience. What does this fucking do? I'll just agree with that. Trying to think of what else I can say to that, because like I said, I don't want to be a depressing person to listen to. But at the same time, how am I supposed to make this like a pseudo diary and entertaining at the same time without having something to talk about? This generation fucked. Honestly, that might be a good place for me to stop. I just got a Discord message to one of my buddies who I was wanting to play with. I might just post this by itself, honestly. I might do a few cuts to cut out the silent part, or the silent parts. But I'm probably just gonna stick with this. Have this be my first video ever. And then I'll sleep on it and decide if I want to keep doing this. But as of right now, I'm gonna just call it and go play with my friends. And to the two people that may see this video, give me some advice. I'm open to hearing anything. Whether it be something about Minecraft itself and how to get this stupid Distant Horizons is generating removed off of my screen, or give me an idea to build something. Or, again, I'm willing to talk about life. I'm probably going to do a second video, but it might be a bit before I do that. We shall see. But I guess I will talk to you guys later, if anyone actually does see this. But have a good night.